Okay, this is section 4.3, writing equations in point-slope form. That's what the title of the section is, but we are going to put it in slope form, and then we're going to simplify it down to slope-intercept form. I'm doing it a little different than the book. It says, example 1a, write the equation of the line using the point-slope formula that passes through 8, -2 with a slope of 1/4. Then graph the equation. We have the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. That is the slope-intercept form. We are going to learn a new formula today. It's called the point-slope formula. The point-slope formula is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. This is the point-slope formula. Now, this y, the very first y, that doesn't have anything, it doesn't have a subscript, it just stays y. But this y sub 1 that has a subscript, we are going to plug in a point. M, what does M stand for? Slope. We're going to plug in this, your M. This x stays at x, and this x sub 1, we are going to plug in a point. So we're going to use this point. Now remember, with an ordered pair, this is your x, this is your y. Okay, so let's plug in to this equation, this formula. So that's y minus y sub 1 is a -2, and that's y minus a negative, which turns into plus 2, is equal to m is 1/4 times x minus x sub 1 is 8. Now, the book does it, they just leave it just like that. That is in point-slope form. Well, I think that's kind of pointless to leave it like that. You need to simplify it all the way down. So to do that, what would the very first thing we would do? Our goal is to solve for y. So what would we do first? I'm sorry? And what is the parentheses? What would we do with the parentheses? We have to get rid of the parentheses, yes. We would do the what? Distributive property. So that's y plus 2 is equal to 1/4 times x is 1/4 x. And 1/4 times a -8. Well, that's a negative. Now, if you need to go to the side and you multiply, 1/4 times, 1/4 times 8/1 is what? 2. If you could do that in your head, great. If you can't, you go to the side and do it. Okay, now we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. Our goal is to solve for y. So that's y is equal to 1/4 x minus 4. And it simplifies down to slope-intercept form. Where from that, if we wanted to graph this, and it tells us to graph, what is your slope? 1/4. What is your b? What is your b? -4, which is the ordered pair 0, -4. So now we're going to graph this. Label your x, y axis. This is a review. Graphing is going to be on the test doing the slope-intercept form, where you plot 0, -4. You're going to go up 1 over 4, up 1 again over 4. Or to get some other points on the other side, give them both negative. Down 1, backwards 4. And there's your line. Okay, same directions. Example 1b, write the equation line using the point-slope form of the line that passes through -2, 1 with the slope of -6. First thing we do is write the point-slope formula. What is the point-slope formula? Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. We're going to plug in, so that's y minus y sub 1 is what? 1. M our slope is negative 6 times x minus a negative 2, which is turns into plus 2. Do the distributive property. That's negative 6 minus 12. Be very careful about here. Minus 12. Add 1 to both sides. So y is equal to negative 6 minus 11. There it is in slope-intercept form. So the point slope simplifies down to slope-intercept form. And we can graph by identifying our m. Our m is negative 6 over 1. Our b is negative 11, which is the ordered pair 0, negative 11. Now, if we go to graph, okay, 0, negative 11 is about right here. It's a little off the graph. Now, instead of going down 6, because if I go down 6, I'm way off my graph, what should I do? Go up 6 and put the negative with the 1. And there's the graph. Okay? Oops. Sorry. That shouldn't be a point right there. Okay, example 2a. Write the equation of the line using the point form of the line that passes through negative 1, negative 3 with the slope of negative 2/3. Then write in standard form. Guys, we are going to skip the standard form for today. I'm going to wait and teach standard form when we come back from Thanksgiving. So we're not going to deal with standard form, so you can ignore that for right now. So you don't have to write those directions. Okay, write the point slope formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So let's plug in. That's y minus a negative 3, which is 3, is equal to m is negative 2/3 times x minus a negative 1, which is plus 1. Y minus 3, do the distributive property. That's negative 2/3 x. Negative 2/3 times a positive 1 is a negative 2/3. Okay, this should be a plus 3. Okay, now we want to solve for y. We have fractions. Do we want to clear our fractions, or can we just subtract 3 from here and here and get a common denominator? That might be easier than trying to clear your fractions. That's what I'm going to do. So we get y is equal to negative 2/3 x. Now right here I've got to get a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be 3. So that's negative 9 over 3. I only have to change this fraction right here because I already have a 3. Does everybody understand what I did right here? So negative 2/3 and a negative 9/3 is what? Negative 11/3. Now, if I was going to graph, what would I need to do with that negative 11/3? Turn it into a mixed number, correct? But I'm not graphing. We don't have to graph. We just have to put it in slope-intercept form, and we're done. Okay, example 2. Write the equation of the line using the point slope form of the line that passes through 5, 1 with a slope of 7. And again, we're going to skip the standard form part today. So I'm going to give y'all a minute to do it yourself. Okay, so you got y equals 7x minus 34. Did anyone get something different? Okay. Example 3A, right in slope-intercept form. Again, we're going to ignore the put in standard form. We'll come back and do that later. So let's write the formula. Okay, y'all try to do this one by yourself too. So you get y equals 3/2 x minus 3/2. You got to be careful about the negatives. Example 3b, write in standard form passing through -2, 4, and 4, 2. So right here, what are we going to have to do first? We're given 2 points. In the past, we've been given a slope. But now we're given 2 points. What do we have to find first? We have to find our slope first. So let's do that. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Notice I'm writing the formula down. So my y2 is 4 minus 2, because I give the first point x2, y2. And then -2 minus 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2, over 2 minus 4 is a -6. So what is my slope going to be? -1/3. Does everyone agree with that? So now I've got to put the point slope formula. Now I get options. I can use either point. Does it matter which point I use? No. Okay, I want y'all to finish this problem. Now, you know what I want y'all to do? Okay, so you get y equals -1/3 x plus 10/3. Okay, go ahead, copy the directions down for these two. Example 6a, write the equation of the line that is horizontal and passes through the point 2, 4 graph. Okay, let's talk about this. A horizontal line, what is the slope of a horizontal line? Do y'all remember? If you're not sure, let's plot the point. Let's plot the point and draw the graph. Here's 2, 4. And a horizontal line goes this way, correct? Right? So it goes like this. Do y'all remember? What is the slope of a horizontal line? What's the slope of a horizontal line? The slope is 0. The slope of 0. Now, let me show you the long version. If I go to plug that into the equation, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. That's y minus 4 is equal to 0 times x minus 2. Y minus 4 is equal to 0 times anything is 0, correct? Then you add 4 to both sides, and you get y is equal to 4. So in the past, you've been given the equation, and you had to come up with a line. Now, you don't have to do this every single time. You can memorize this something and write this down. Okay, so example 6b, write the equation line that is horizontal and passes through the point 3, -4. So it's a horizontal line. So again, a horizontal line has a slope of what? What's the slope of a horizontal line, class? 0. What's the equation of all horizontal lines? Y equals the y value of your ordered pair, -4. So if we graph this, it's a horizontal line. Okay? Example 7. Go ahead and copy example 7a and 7b. Okay, let's first graph this. 2, 6. And it's a vertical line. So what is that? Oh, my goodness, I can't draw a vertical line. It's a vertical line. Goes up and down. What is the slope of all vertical lines? No slope or undefined. So how could you put that into the equation, undefined, into the point slope formula? You can't. But we don't need to do that. If a horizontal is y equals, what do you think a vertical is? X equals. That's right. So the equation is x equals, what do you think? 2. All vertical lines have an undefined or no slope. So the equation is always x equals the x value of your ordered pair. So example B, write an equation that is vertical and passes through negative 3, 7. What is the equation for that? X equals negative 3. So the graph would look something like this. Okay? Okay, look at number 13. Slope of 0 with a 0.13. Slope is 0. What kind of line has a 0 slope? A horizontal line. What is the equation of all horizontal line? Y equals the y value of your ordered pair. So y is equal to 3. If you can't remember it, could you go to the side and sketch a little graph? Yes. Okay, let's skip down to do number 16. You have 2 points. What do we have to find first? Our slope. So I'm going to find my slope. First I write the formula down. So that's 7 minus 9 over 0 minus 1. 7 minus 9 is a negative 2 over a negative 1. So what is my slope? 2. Now, the direction says to put it in slope-intercept form, where we had to identify our M and our B. And we have to use the point slope formula to simplify down to this if we are not given our B. But look very carefully at number 16. Look at the point 0.07. What is that? That is your y-intercept. How did you know that? Because remember, your y-intercept is always 0b, where this is your x, this is your y. So if you're ever given a point where x is 0, then this b, this y is also your b, so we don't have to use the point slope formula. It's given to us. So b is what? 7. So we can go directly to y equals 2x plus 7. So even though the direction says to use the point slope formula, we didn't have to. We could have just plugged it in because we had to calculate our M and we were given our B. Does that make sense? Okay, skip down to number 25. It says y-intercept is, it should say the word, y-intercept is negative 2, x-intercept is 6. Y-intercept is negative 2. We need to put that in an ordered pair. What is that in an ordered pair? Is this the point 6, 2? 6, negative 2? Is that the point? No. Y-intercept is negative 2. What is that point? That's 0, negative 2. And x-intercept is 6. What is that in ordered pair? That's 6, 0. So once again, what do we have to find? Our slope. So that's negative 2 minus 0 over 0 minus 6. That's negative 2 over negative 6, which is 1/3. Now, do I have to use the point slope formula? Because when I do that, When I do that, I am simplifying down and I'm eventually finding my b. But is my b given to me already? What does b stand for? What does b stand for? Y-intercept. B stands for your y-intercept. Is our y-intercept given to us? Yes, it's -2. So I can just plug it in into this equation. So y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So even though the direction says use the point slope formula, there are some problems where you don't have to. Do y'all understand that?